So, like 3 seconds ago, the cat was laying on the couch, and I was giving him a hug, okay? He looks up and sees his own tail and goes on my arm. Look at that. Ah! Look at that. Gushing blood. Gushing blood. I'm giving him a hug. And he saw his own tail. Like, he's been with his own tail for, like, what, 3 years now? Like, seriously. Gets me every time.
That's me every time.
Kind of like the dummy I made. So I made a dummy out of newspaper.
He'll have to be a special guest sometime.
I was like, hey, Mom, I made a friend.
Yep.
And so I dressed him up, and he looks like me, because that's just the way you make him. He kind of looks like me.
But he's a little poofier.
Because he's made of pillows. And he sits on my couch in my room, and for the first, like, month and a half, my parents would walk in and go,
every time.
every time.
Are you like, you'd like go in, you'd like, oh, there's a dummy. You go out, and you're like, wait, is that,
And so my uncle put a cockroach on my mom's cutting board, and it scared her because she was cutting and looked and saw that, and she was like, she came over to me because I brought the dummy to the cousin's house. She was like, do something to him, get him back. And so I was like, okay. So I went into his office, which he wasn't in at the time.
This was good.
And I put the dummy in the chair, you know, sitting with his arms crossed and his feet up.
And the lights were off.
And the lights were off. And so he walked into his office and flipped on the lights and looked, and he saw the dummy.
No. The lights are those slow turning on kind. And so he just kept on walking in, and he went around, and then he went to his desk, and then he looked up, and the lights are finally on, and there's this man sitting in his chair. Like, he's already in the room with this man.
And so he came, like, tried to get out of his office and fell at the door. And so me and the cousins are downstairs playing Xbox. And what was that? Then 3 seconds later, as everyone else is laughing.
I like hear this yelling, and he's on his knees, like, trying to get out of the room. Must get away from this man in black. And
it was pretty good.
And he was like, yeah, that was pretty funny, you know, blah, blah. And then later we found out that he's, like, terrified of things like this. We're like, oh, we kind of really good. And then we called him, we're like, we're sorry if we disturbed you or whatever. He's like, I'm gonna have nightmares for like 3 days. Actually, his wife said that. She would know. Okay. Yeah, so it was pretty crazy. We got him really good. Actually, we should
Here is
kind
the
of...
cat that scratched me. Look at his claws. Just look at these things. Look at these things. Look at that.
Make him stick out.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
His name is Paws. Because of the
he
paws.
has white paws. Let me show you. Come on, Kate, cooperate. So once in your life, show your paws on the back. Oh, he can stretch really good.
So we were watching James Bond like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
How did that go?
Oh, we were like watching, and we were 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through the movie. And you know, the entire movie is about an assassin, right? How to kill people for a daily job. Okay, that's his profession.
Well, you all know James Bond.
That's what he does. Anyways, and so throughout the entire movie, there's like explosions, and there's near death, and like poison, and plots to rule the world, etc., etc. So Mom comes in at the very end, like she does so specially, and she sees the good guy and the good girl. You know, James Bond and
James Bondist.
No, it was like
Hail
Mary. Anyways, and so they run after an airplane, and they like grab onto the wheel or something.
As it's taking off.
Yeah, and then they like climb up into the wheel well and to get into the plane. And like as they're doing that, Mom's like sitting on the top of the couch, and she's like, "That's how people die." And then Mom just died.
Because
like,
I mean,
it's about an assassin.
it's like all these guns, and then they're like climbing in the wheel well of the airplane. That's how people die.
And then like nearly fell off the couch. That's how people die.
We were like, well,
Oh, it's good.
obviously.
And so then like later on in the movie, was it Michael? Like something happened. He was like, "That's how people die."